Hi, welcome to Two Non-Yarn Snobs.
Hey everybody.
Sorry we've been gone so long.
But look, we're in a new venue.
We are. This is going to be my fiber studio. It is a sunroom on our new house, and we are in the middle of moving.
In the middle of moving.
There's boxes right here.
There's boxes everywhere.
There is boxes everywhere. But we're getting pretty close to done. We've had some things go on, and it wasn't that we didn't want to be here with you. It's just that we couldn't be here with you.
Life gets in the way.
Life really has been getting in the way a lot.
Oh, first off, welcome to Two Non-Yarn Snobs.
I've said that.
My name's Anna.
I'm Sabrina. You can find me on Ravelry as JD's Girl.
I'm Joey's Rib.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Two Non-Yarn Snobs.
And you can email us at twononyarnsnobs@gmail.com.
Yes.
The number 2.
The number 2, yes. And we know it's been a long time, and we hope to get back to a normal schedule pretty quick. Today may not be a...
Our fingers crossed.
Yes. Today may not be a traditional podcast. My FOs are at the grooming shop. I don't have a particular lot to show anyway. I have 3. I have a skirt and a halter top and a cup cozy, which we'll show you next time. And I hope that we can put podcasts maybe before Christmas, because some of these things are going to go away for Christmas.
Because your Christmas gift is coming.
Oh, yeah?
So we'll have to get together.
Okay.
Again.
All right.
Have your Christmas gift.
So, let's, life updates. We're in our new house.
Quick life updates.
We had Thanksgiving in the United States, and we're getting pretty close to Christmas. I went on a hike with Landon and his Cub Scout troop. We marched in the Christmas parade in our local town. And last night went to a Cub Scout Christmas party. Cub Scouts really, they say it's an hour a week. Yeah, well, that's kind
More
of a
than
joke.
that.
Yeah, because it seems like, we decided to move the first week of December, and the people that we bought the house from weren't out on time, so we got a late start, and then one of my 6 dogs went in the house, and
that's what the scratchy, glassy noise is. That's why it wants in.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but it's just life. But they say Scouts is an hour a week, but it really consumes a lot of time. But other than that, we've been working. Pretty busy this time of year, getting puppies ready for Christmas, and we're moving. And I'm hoping that we have everything out of the other house by the end of tomorrow. And
There's a lot of stuff at the other house.
And then we can start getting things put away. We've started already getting things put away here, but really need to. We're hosting Christmas.
I think it might be better to put that off till next year.
We're pretty hard workers, and I hope
post Valentine's Day.
we're pretty hard workers. We'll manage to get it done. Anyway, life updates for you.
Okay, yeah. When last we podcast, I left the shop and I went to go grocery shopping, and I felt this weird feeling on my truck. You know how it is when you're driving along and something doesn't feel right. I thought surely I had to be hallucinating. So I get my groceries, get back out to the truck, head home. It happened a couple more times, and I thought, that can't be right. It's kind of like a hesitation, only it was like my throttle wouldn't go down. And I couldn't figure it out. So again, I just figured that cannot be right, and I've got to be hallucinating. Well, that morning, Joey's truck wouldn't start, so I had to take him to work in order to come podcast with her. Yeah, I got out to where he works, and he was working nights that week, like he did this week and next week. And we start to head home, and he was complaining of feeling kind of sinusy and all that. And I said, well, let's stop at Walmart, pick you up some cold medicine because I took the last box that I bought. So we stopped at Walmart. We got cold medicine, a few things I missed at the grocery store, and headed back out to the truck. And I realized I needed to use the bathroom, so I gave him the keys. He goes on out to the truck. The door to Walmart is opening up, and I hear him say something, and I'm thinking, no, that I must have heard wrong. Surely I heard wrong. I go to the bathroom, I go back out, and sure enough, I heard right. He had yelled, "We got a flat!" Had a flat tire on my truck. Took him 2.5 hours in 16-degree weather to change it.
I don't blame him. I would have been getting in the truck.
Oh, he wasn't getting in the truck. He was coming over and opening my door and going, "I don't think that jack's going to work. I don't think that jack's going to go high enough. And where's your tire iron?" And I said, "It should be back there where the jack was. I keep all that stuff together." It wasn't. Couldn't find it.
It was a very long night for her.
Yeah, we didn't get home till 3:30.
Yeah.
And I told him, he got off work at 12:30. We didn't get home till 3:30. And we got to 5 Mile Store, which is 5 miles outside of town, another 15 miles from our house, and it starts hesitating again. What I thought was hesitating because I was letting him drive. No, I have a sticky throttle. But at 5 Mile Store, I started doing the chant. "Dear God, please just let us get home. Dear God, please just let us get home. Dear God." And the rocking, too. Seriously, I'm just like, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Like, if I rock forward hard enough, the truck will just go forward. You know. Well, anyway, so my truck has been out of commission since then because it's not safe to drive and has a sticky throttle. His truck was out of commission then, and his mom let him drive her car for a week and a half. And his mom paid to have his truck towed into town to the shop to get the guys to work on it. And then she paid for the guys to work on it. And then she took Joey after work the next day to go pick it up. And drove home it started just fine, and they drove home. And then the next morning he went out to the truck and it wouldn't start. It has been a trial. And then I told him, I said, "Call your buddy that lives up the road from us and ask him to come over and take a look at it." Well, he came over and he brought graphite. He brought some tools and he brought graphite to shoot into the ignition, thinking maybe the ignition just needed a little lubricating. That wasn't it. He had a loose wire on the starter. A loose wire on the starter. Who told him he had a loose wire on the starter? Sounds like you got a loose wire on your starter. You need to check that out. So he's been back in his truck, which is great. But I've been sitting at home. This is my first day out since Thanksgiving. But I'm glad to be out and about.
Yes.
I got sick again after Thanksgiving. Well, God love him. Bean's been kind of sickly. And after we ate, I picked him up and he wiped his snotty, slobbery face on my cheek. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think anything about it because he's a baby and babies do that. And
yeah,
I got the crud again. Anyway, I love the boy. And he's crawling quickly.
So we're real happy to have this beautiful space that we're going to be able to work in. There's shelves already on the wall that I'll be able to store some yarn on, and I have too much of that,
but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going on a diet for 2020, a yarn diet and a human diet.
Although it's hard to go on a yarn diet, and don't get me wrong, we greatly appreciate it.
It'll take both of us to lift it.
But we got another donation of yarn. And like I say, we greatly appreciate it. That's going to make a lot of warm hats and scarves and stuff.
And there's some really, these are, sweet, it's blowing out, but this is a Premier Sweet Roll.
I have one of that color propping our Kindle up to hold, so it can see us.
And these are like $4 or $5 a piece, and there's several in
There's
the
a
bag.
lot of those in there.
So we are very blessed and very happy to have that, and we will create some beautiful things. But I got my 2 spinning wheels are behind us.
Technically 3.
Technically 3. I have an antique one that's it's in pieces and needs a lot of love and probably will never spin again, but it will be beautiful.
But it will be beautiful again.
And I'm gonna be able to set up my loom to weave, and I have my drum carder over here, and this is not all my stuff. It's not all in here yet, but this will be the first time I've ever had a space of my own to put my stuff in.
Pretty much just dedicated to your fiber love.
To my fiber love. And some things may not come in here. I have probably 15 raw fleeces. Yeah, I said that. I made friends with a sheep shearer a few years ago, and he gives me a whole fleece for $5. So I have...
That's not a deal you can pass up.
It's not, but it is a lot of work to wash them and dry them and card them and comb them and spin them. And probably that many fleeces will last me a couple of years.
But the amount of yarn that you get off of that.
Oh, yeah, for the $5.
For $5.
I could, an entire sweater quantity of yarn.
At least.
Yeah, right about a sweater quantity. But, so 2020 is going to hold some really interesting things for us, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. And Anna has some FOs to show you.
So she's going on her fiber and personal diet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be her cheerleader.
That's okay.
I'm not doing that. I'll just be her cheerleader. Okay, so for the yarn crawl, I'm going to show my acquisitions first.
Okay. Well, I don't have any, so.
So for the yarn crawl, I won one of the prizes. You get a passport, you get it stamped at every shop that you go to, and then you turn it in at your last shop. We went to 3 shops, turned mine in at, we took it to Knit 2 Together and turned it in there. And so I won a pattern and a hank of yarn. So there's the pattern.
I don't know how to make it better there.
Yeah, that's alright.
We'll be better set up next time with some more lights and things.
So anyway, this is Plymouth Yarn Company Electra Light. It's a kind of an ivory white with a stellina.
Yes, it has sparkle.
Lurex. It's got a sparkle to it.
And it is very, for a commercial yarn, it's pretty soft. I mean, there's still some tooth in it, but for commercial yarn, commercial wool, it's probably, what, 80-20?
I don't know. I didn't even look. What's it say?
I don't know.
Maybe it's on the other side.
No? 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% Lurex.
And that's kind of an iridescently sparkle. It's not like a silver.
So it's a 75-25.
Pretty. Either way, it's pretty.
Pretty soft for a commercial yarn.
So, the drawing was held at Red Scotty Fibers up in Eureka, and then they sent it to Knit 2 Together, which is my local yarn shop.
Nice.
And then, because Stephanie did not have her pins in yet, she had these enamel pins made up for it. So I picked up mine and Sabrina's, and then I'm giving Sabrina the kit because she bought me that hedgehog fibers, and
well, I will sure make
want you to have that.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful, and it will make a beautiful shawl.
Even if you decide to not do that one.
I think I will. I probably will.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Because why not?
I'm just excited that my name was drawn.
Absolutely.
And that I got to go on the yarn crawl.
Absolutely.
To more shops than I would have if it had just been me. So my other acquisition today was because I cannot go to Knit 2 together and not buy something. I bought a hat kit. It's a Ramsey Yarn Company hat kit, so it comes with this gorgeous hank of yarn.
Is it a DK?
You know, I'm not absolutely certain if that's a DK or... Let's rip that sucker open. Sorry for the crinkling. Oh, that's attached there.
I was going to progress keeper. It's a really pretty progress keeper.
Yes, that is DK weight. 100% merino, 231 yards. And this is called Leif. Leif. She names all of her yarn after people in her life.
Oh, okay.
And then it comes with this progress keeper. The hat kit comes with a progress keeper. And it comes with a pom-pom. And it comes with a leather band tag. And what's that? Oh, Bayou Bird Company. That's who makes the stitch markers. And then it comes with the hat pattern. So
it's a nice hat kit.
Yeah. I couldn't pass that up. Anyway, that's all of my acquisitions. Okay. Now to FOs. Crystal at Bag O' Day has put out a new hat pattern, and I don't remember what it's called. It is number 650. She's got 650 tutorials. Anyway, I made it in this wild carnation, which it doesn't really show up all that great, because the design doesn't show up all that great.
It has some texture.
It has some texture. I did it in this. This is also the wild carnation. This is a deep sage or medium. It's a sage. These are both I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby, and it's bobbles and post stitches.
But not true bobbles. It's like
But
a
not
triple
true
crochet.
bobbles.
It's a triple crochet, and then the next one's what, a single or a double? A single, which makes the triple poke out. So it's not a true bobble.
It's not a true bobble. But they are super quick. So I made up 2 like in one night.
That's awesome.
And then I had a little bit of these 2 yarns left over, so I made a modified chocolate bonbon. I only did 1 repeat of the post stitches instead of 2.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this one has 72, and this one I think only has 60. But you can always increase this one real easily.
Well, the 60 was plenty big.
And I always do 72 for myself. Okay, so let's see. Sabrina's in pain, by the way. She fell and twisted her knee.
Yeah, I did.
I finished off a dishcloth. Somehow I only had the corner to corner.
And this is I Love This Yarn by Hobby Lobby. Teal.
I love this cotton.
I love this cotton.
In pink, teal, orange.
Pink, teal, and orange.
And then the smallest pot holder I think I've ever made.
It's pretty small.
in dark teal. And then I ran out of dark teal and started yellow.
I like the yellow.
So that's kind of Green Bay Packer-ish.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Anyway, 3 nice pot holders and a dishcloth.
And I have another pot holder started.
Oh, awesome.
In yellow.
And yellow.
Just trying to use up my cotton. Okay, and then let's see. Mark's socks. I got 1 finished, and it's hanging on the sock blocker at home. And then I've got the cuff, and I'm on the heel flap of sock number 2.
Awesome.
This one is holding a drop stitch. These 2 are in waiting for when I get the heel flap done and pick up the stitches. And anyway, that's where I'm at on that.
Cool.
And that's all that's all my whips and
Well,
show
I'm
us
sure-
what you got.
I'm sure I have like several whips, but
Show us what you've been loving on lately.
I don't know where they are. Well, like I see an Afghan over here, and I see an Afghan over there.
Processes of being moved.
Yes.
They're in various
But-
places.
We slept in the house for 2 nights, and I worked, and then came home and moved until like 8 o'clock at night, and I had to have something to work on. So I went to the donated bag of yarn, and the only needle I could find, because we're not unpacked yet, was an N and this giant jumbo yarn. And I started this granny square, and it's a green and then a blue, green, and white, because it's blowing out, you can't really see it. But I like maybe have worked on this for 10 minutes, 15, not long, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes a night. And it's going to make a lovely giant granny square.
And the guys are here to unload now.
Yeah. So we're going to cut this short and
So
tell
we're
you
gonna-
goodbye.
Cut it off and say goodbye, and we'll talk to you next time. Oh, good Lord, the pack of dogs started running. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye!